Shalom, shalom.
Shalom. We'd like to start off first and foremost by saying all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Hakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Salutations to elect out there, feeding the sheep of Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, and spreading this great gospel throughout the four corners of the earth. And salutations to all the Israelite foreigners and salutations to 144,000 and the 1/3 elect man out there. It's Brother Barak.
This is Brother Yosap, and today we're going to be doing a lesson that was on the Spirit. The beloved Elder Apostle Gabar made a video a few days ago called "The Life That We Live in This Truth," and some of the precepts that he mentioned we were meditating on, and the Spirit came on to us to do a video. We want to start off if you can bring out 2 Corinthians, actually bring out Luke 14 and 21.
Okay, so this is the book of Luke 14:21. And it says, you want to read it or?
I could read it. All right, Luke 14 and 21. The servant came back and reported to his master. Then the owner of the house became angry and ordered his servant, "Go out quickly into the streets and the alleys of the town and bring in the poor, the crippled, the blind, and the lame." And let's actually bring out the precept, "Go out on the highways and hedges." So to continue with this precept, it also says, "And the Lord," in Luke 14:23, "and the Lord said unto the servant, Go out onto the highways and hedges and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled." So with that being said, we want to make sure that we're going out and we're feeding the flock of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai and being fishers of men, and waking up the hopeful elect. Because it's very important, and we have to go out and do the work. We've been called to do this. We've been given the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, and we were called into this. We didn't come in ourselves. He chose us.
Yeah, and it's very important that we also be telling people the proper names of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. We're not using the name JC. We're not using the name Guadalupe or Yah or Yahushua or Yehovah. Like a lot of these guys say.
And a lot of people, they want to say, well, it doesn't matter about what name he.
Well, look at the books of Acts 4:12. It talks about salvation and being only in one name.
Yeah.
And there was another scripture our brother Nawaha brought out, but we can go back to that.
But to stay on,
stay on the topic. We're supposed to be using, the only proper name is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai.
And with that precept of Luke 14:21 through 23, when we're going out on the highways and hedges and doing the work of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai and letting people know the gospel and the prophecies, we have to be teaching in these proper names. The elder apostle, the beloved elder apostle Aramlab was saying, roughly paraphrasing, that a beautiful dish, if you're missing that one ingredient, it's off. And that main ingredient to finish that recipe are these names tied in with faith. And when we go out and we preach this word, we have to be using those proper names. We have to be preaching on the correct doctrine. And we ultimately have to go out and give our bodies as living sacrifices by doing the work.
And that we have to be speaking about the prophecies, about the MOTB, about these nuclear missiles, the RFID microchip. A lot of people want to only hear the good things, like the book of Isaiah talks about. Tell us, I believe it was the book of Isaiah, talk about, tell us sweet things we want to hear.
Bring that up.
Yeah, so let me see if I was actually...
And then follow that with the Jeremiah 14 and 14.
So the book of Isaiah 30 and 10, it says, they say to the seers...
Read
let's bring that on the KJV.
Firmly,
so this is the book of Isaiah 30 and 10, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, and prophesy deceits.
Yeah, so a lot of people, when they come into this truth and they find out that they're an Israelite, you know, they get that, energetic spirit at first. They become very zealous. They receive the sweet things, but then when the bitter things come in, it bothers them. And there has to be a balance to it. With the Lord, he maketh and he killeth. With that being said, there is going to be doom and gloom. We want to be delivered out of this place, this wicked ass place. A lot of people have this mentality when they find out they're an Israelite. It's just like a kumbaya festival, and they just want to tell everybody the good things, and they don't want to speak about what's to come, which is the mark of the beast, the MOTB, which is actually very important, and we need to be speaking about that more.
Yeah, you got a lot of guys just going around hugging each other and fucking, grabbing each other by the shoulder and, celebrating, playing music and all this, like, man, we supposed to be in the house of mourning, it's better to be in the house of mourning because, and, there's a time and place for everything, man, but, on this side, man, it's not our place of rest. So, the point is, man, we know exactly what's coming. We know these prophecies that are coming to pass. Like, why are we avoiding talking about these subjects?
Yeah, are we afraid? Are we afraid to speak about it? Are we afraid that it's gonna rile feathers? I have a precept, 2 Esdras 9:6. Measure thou time diligently in itself, and when thou seest the times past which I have told thee, then you will see the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua will visit the world he had made. So he's going to show himself very soon, and when he comes, he will not tarry. And with that being said, we have to wake up, the elect and the hopeful elect, scattered across the four corners of this world, who might not know about this truth yet. We have to prepare them to be on the right mind frame of what's to come.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of Akim and Akwat out there that are not aware just yet, because they might be in a camp like IUIC, they might be in one of these Israelite ministries where they're just speaking a bunch of fucking nonsense, man, and they just avoid the actual end times prophecies that are to come.
Yeah, you got some of these camps, they think you gotta physically leave Babylon, and you're gonna be able to escape it. You know what I'm saying? They think you gotta physically leave America and move to Ethiopia. Matter of fact, I'm going to get this precept about Jeremiah 14:14. All right, so this is the book of Jeremiah 14:14. It said, "The Lord said to me, the prophets are prophesying lies in my name. I have not sent them or appointed them or spoken to them. They are prophesying to you false visions, divinations, idolatries, and the delusions of their own minds." So, yeah, man, you got a lot of these dudes saying, prophesizing that we're going to be saved by fucking boats and not the chariots of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. They saying that you can only have one wife, or the Lord. Some people are saying the Lord ain't coming back to another 1,000 years, man. Well, that's completely bugged out, bro.
And this is the thing, when you people speak about the wrong doctrine, you're leading the flock astray, and the Lord is going to judge you ultimately for that. Look what he did to Alazar. Alazar was going around speaking about it could be another 1,000 years till the Lord returns, and look what he did to him. The point of the matter is, you got to be speaking the correct doctrine, and you have to. You cannot refrain from telling people the serious matters of what's to come. You got to prepare people to be on the right mind frame, to prepare their spirit, for endurance, so that they can avoid temptation, okay, and make it out of this place, man, and be beamed up by the chariots. And there's a lot of people out there that don't even believe in the chariots, which is ultimate folly. This is why you have to not stop following these bugged out.
And we saw a chariot, man. We saw a chariot with our own eyes yesterday. A chariot of fire.
It's about faith, ultimately.
Hey, it's about faith, man.
Deliver us out of your
Yeah. Because how are these chariots? I'll put it this way. You got brothers up in Iowa, Idaho, Colorado. In the middle of the United States, wherever.
In mountains, man.
In the mountains. How are you gonna have boats come and pick those people up and save them when a nuclear fire is about to hit? And the book of 2 Corinthians talk about in twinkling of an eye we shall be changed, right? Roughly, I believe it was 2 Corinthians, roughly paraphrasing, and that's because that's referring to these new spiritual bodies that we're gonna get, man. You know, it ain't gonna be no fucking boat, man. That's gonna some other nation's gonna go pick us up with a boat. You know, like a lot of these Israelites or these other camps.
On top of that,
to speak about, man.
On top of that, not to mention, they don't even believe in the Israelite foreigners. They believe that it's black only Hebrew Israelites. Okay?
Which the word black wasn't even meant. It was the words black and white was a social construct invented by Johann Blumenbach in I believe in the 1600s. So that shit don't even exist, man. You know, so you got a lot of these dudes and they talk about if your mother is a heathen and you an Israelite and you keep having a woman with the heathen, then you know you're gonna that seed is gonna get washed out or you become a memzer or whatever you call it, man. You know, completely bugged out. You know, like these people are like these people are just lost in some like random ass doctrine, and it's not even biblical either, man. You know,
I have a precept. I'm gonna bring this out. If you want to bring out, I have 2 precepts to back this up. But first is gonna be Titus 2:1. If you want to bring that out, and I am gonna, yeah. So Titus 2:1. But speak thou things which become sound doctrine. In Titus 2:2 it says that the aged men be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith, in charity, and patience. So we got to be speaking, like I said, sound doctrine. A lot of these people, they come into this, they don't want to listen to the elders, especially don't want to listen to elders and apostles, Grand Millstone. They want to go off and do their own thing, their own little congregations where they have a bunch of random ass people using 10 different names in one group, and everything's off and there's no order, man.
You got even some agents and these that are actually Muslims, but they only in there because they're trying to get money out of people.
You know, and you gotta ultimately test the spirit around the Akim, and you have to speak sound doctrine, and you shouldn't be conforming to a bunch of people to try to make them come in. You know, this is only for an elect, man. This is only for a remnant of people. We're not here to bring everybody in, to open our legs wide and bring everybody in, okay?
Yeah, and for those of you who say, you know, that the heathens, you know, that this truth is for the heathens, man, you know, I'm gonna bring out the book of Psalms 3 and 4, I believe. There's heathen. I believe it was Psalm 3 and 4, Psalm 34, let me see. Yeah, so Salaki, this is Psalms 2 and 8. Salaki, Yahabashim Yashai. And the book of Psalms 2 and 8, it says, ask me, and I will make the nations your inheritance, the ends of your earth your possession. So, how are the other nations? If the other nations are gonna be, we're gonna be. Are we gonna? So we're gonna be together in the kingdom with them, or are they gonna be slaves and servants in the kingdom? You know.
Yeah, stop trying
to put these dudes on the same level. You know, because they're heathens, man.
They're not, man.
They're gonna be slaves and servants in the kingdom, man. And this is biblical.
Stop trying to be fucking nice to them too.
Yeah, because a lot of you guys have these heathens in your congregation, and then you be all nice. The next thing you know, you calling on the name of some other fucking name, and because you wanna how you say, succumb to the Gentiles, and you know you wanna be all nice to these guys, man. But this truth is not about being nice. It's that same spirit of Solomon, being making idols for his idols and building up idols and temples for his foreign wives.
And then I'm gonna read this book, and we're gonna go on to the main point. But this is the book of John 10 and 1. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber. And then I'm gonna bring out the book of Jude. Many men crept in unawares. So Jude 1:4, for there are certain men crept in unawares. Certain men have crept unnoticed. Okay, no, Salaki. For there are many men crept in unawares, who were before of old ordained to condemnation, ungodly men, turning the grace of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai into lasciviousness, and denying the only Lord Yahweh and our Lord Yahushai Hamashiach. So these fucking heathens, man, coming into these groups, you're trying to be all accepting to them, and then in the midst of that, You're defiling the doctrine, man.
And you got a lot of agents too, like
a lot of agents.
The book of Matthew talks about the which I pulled up here. You know, the parable of the wedding, where you got people uninvited guests. You know, people that are deserving of this truth, man.
Okay.
You know, and then they come in and they treat this truth like a fucking joke, man.
Yeah, to all you people in these ministries, man, these servers that you guys want to make up on the fly and just think that you guys can do your own thing, man.
Because a lot of guys got
the elders and apostles. You know, this is, you know what? You guys are just like the fucking Christian churches, man.
You got these guys making what's that one app house party what's that one app where they got all those meetings, not Discord, is that other one. Man. But they got all these, like, you know, random ass camps, random ass groups. Man, the elders and apostles in the Great Millstone, they were finding this truth out. They had to go through books and libraries and, you know, how to gather all this information and go through the Strongs. And you're over here just taking advantage of you ain't even like you ain't even trying to listen to, you know, the elders and apostles and trying to get this knowledge that's passed on. You just trying to, like, you think you know everything.
You're trying to do your own thing, man.
These people are leaning on their own understanding, you know, what the scriptures tell us not to do.
And guess what? Ultimately, this ain't for you heathens, man. And bring out Amos 9 and 11. Okay.
Yeah. So this book of Amos 9 and 11.
Read it out. Bring it out.
And it says, "In that day, I will restore David's fallen shelter. I will repair its broken walls and restore its ruins and will rebuild it as it used to be."
Yeah, so we gotta rebuild the fallen house of David, man. We gotta bring it back to its former glory. And this is what we gotta go out as living sacrifices and preach to the four corners of the earth and wake up the lost sheep of the house of Israel, man. You know, before this place gets fucking destroyed.
Yeah.
And bring out 1 Peter 2 and 5. And read it.
Well, let's pull that out. So this is the book of 1 Peter 2 and 5. And it says, "Also you, like living stones, are being built into a spiritual house to be a holy priesthood, offering spiritual sacrifices acceptable to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai."
Yes. So you want to have a house that's built on stone, man, on a solid foundation. How are you going to have that? Through this word, through this proper sound doctrine from the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, through using the proper names, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, okay, speaking about the prophecies. You want to be a good body of work. You want to be a pleasing aroma to the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. You don't want to be something that's sticky and smells like shit because you're just meddling yourself in a bunch of different scents and doctrines, man.
Yeah, because you got a lot of guys, like, they come in this thing and they just trying to, like, start debates and, you know, sow discord, which the Lord hates, man.
Carnality.
It's very carnal. So. And
the Lord doesn't like that. That's one of the things the Lord hates.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm going to bring out... Actually, no, but continuing on to that, you know, you want to be speaking sound doctrine, and you want to be using, Akim, you want to be using the talents that the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai gave you to glorify His kingdom, man, and to do the work. Because He gave each and every one of you that came into this truth, that are sincere, different talents and different gifts, and you don't want to be that person that hides their talent in a napkin. Yeah, or keeps it confined to one place and one place only.
Yeah, He didn't give Esau these talents. He didn't give Elam or Moab these talents, man. Nah, man, He made this truth for us, man.
They'll never be able to understand.
And these heathens, man, they don't get it. You know, they just don't get it, man. So
they want to try to find every single. They want to twist the word to try to find every single way to justify, their fucking stupid mindset and mind frame. Yeah. But anyways, point being, Akim, you got to use the talents that you have to glorify the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and wake up the hopeful elect. Yeah. Before Jacob's trouble really comes into full effect, man, and this market's really implemented.
Yeah, because we seen the birth pains happening right now. You know, with the tariffs, with the, you know, inflation. You know, with the, you know, the United Nations and all that. And you know, people are gonna really realize, like, man, these men of the Lord were right. that spirit of mocking and scoffing, they're gonna be like, they're gonna be, oh shit.
And actually bring out I have a precept right here.
Yeah.
And then I have a precept to go with what you were saying. And I'm going to be reading the book of Habakkuk 2 and 3.
Yep.
Speaking about that for the people that like going to be like, oh shit, for the appointed time for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come and it will not tarry. So the Lord ain't going to wait for you, man. He ain't going to wait for you to say, oh, I got to do a little bit more. Oh, I could have done, I could have woken up more people. The Lord could put certain individuals in your way for you to go speak to them. And this truth is not for everybody. That's not what we're saying. You speak to them, you wipe off the dust of your feet if they don't understand, and you keep moving forward. Don't cast your pearl among swine. But there are a lot of people that are going to be put throughout the course of your path for you to bring them into this faith and into this ministry. And the Lord is counting on you, Akim, to use your talents and to go out and push this work in sound doctrine, okay, before Jacob's trouble really comes into full effect.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit about what people say, man? Bring out when we are ignored, even though we are well known. Who gives a shit about what people say? Who gives a shit if you have 1 or 2 views on your video, man? That doesn't matter, man. The Lord sees it with his eyes 10,000 times brighter than the sun, man.
Yep. The book of 2 Corinthians 6-9. All right. It says, as unknown and yet well known, as dying, and behold, we live, as chastened and not killed.
Is that where it says we are ignored even though we are well known?
Yeah. This is King James. So in the NIV also it says this what you were saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So people know about us, man, and you got that Simpsons clip talking about that guy with the tattoo. It said GMS on it. I don't know if you guys know, but we'll probably do another lesson on that. But these people know about us, man. They bring out our name in the court dates, in the courtrooms. They take down our videos. They hide the number of views we get on our videos.
Yeah.
So these people know about us, man. There's a reason that you speak about this stuff in certain countries, you're gonna go to jail. So these people know, man, and you cannot hide this truth. Yeah. You step into the way of the truth of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the Lord will fucking destroy you.
Yeah, this truth is like a wildfire. It talks about that in the book of Jeremiah. You can't not keeping your mouth shut. And this is another message for all you Akim that are a little bit skeptical about posting videos because maybe you feel some type of way, you feel like you're gonna get judged or condemned or whatever. And that doesn't matter, man. You want to build up your body of work. You want to build a firm foundation by pushing out his work and feeding the flock, like we mentioned, man. And you got to use your talents. Maybe you're not the best at certain breakdowns, man, but you might be good at exhortations, or you might be good at breaking down end time prophecy, or you might be good at finding videos about judgment or being a part of the current events that tie into the biblical prophecies. Yeah. You might even be very good at praying, man.
A watchman.
A watchman. Yeah. A watchman onto the house of Israel. On top of that, you might be somebody that's very good with the herbs, with keeping the Akim in check and good health. You might be a fellow Akim that is very good, who's a prayer warrior, man. And then while your fellow Ak or your body is maybe in a low state, you can bring them up and fill into their cup, or even giving alms, And if you don't know what your gift is right now, and you feel like you're stuck or in a plateau, pray to the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai to ignite a new gift, or maybe lead you around amongst the right path to where you can utilize those gifts to the best of your abilities, man. Because everybody that's been called into this, that's sincere, and the Lord has called into this faith and into this ministry, they have gifts, whether they know it now or later, So use those gifts. Don't be afraid. Don't be like that servant that kept his money under the ground, Don't hide your treasures here where moths corrupt and thieves steal, man. Store up your treasures in heaven.
Yeah.
By doing this work right now, man, because we're gonna be going to a place, Abrathazar, where we have mansions upon mansions. This is in my Father's house. There are many mansions, so we have to do the work right now with the faith that we're gonna make it to the kingdom, man.
Because on this side, man, there's literally nothing to do at this point besides spread this gospel and this truth. The truth of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. What the fuck is there to do, man? There's literally nothing to do, bro.
We're passing by, Akim. We're passing by, man. Your flesh is always being vexed. You gotta go to the plantation, man. You got Esau trying to hit you through different angles, man. It's a never ending.
And this devil is
man.
everywhere. You go to Philippines, you go to fucking Africa, you go to fucking England. It don't matter where you go, man. This devil is literally everywhere. So, you think you can just leave America? No, man.
You think you could just go to Africa?
The whole fucking world fucking drank the wrath of Babylon,
You think
man.
you could just go to Africa and fucking kumbaya, man? You can't run from this, man. You can't run from the Lord.
Yeah. So, I mean, and if that's all you got, brother, because that's all I got, bro.
Just to conclude what we were saying, man, be very careful for these false preachers that speak that speak false doctrines. Okay, be very careful for them, and be on the sound doctrine, man. Okay, the sound word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai,
Yep.
and don't be afraid to do the work and to use the talents for to the best of your ability to wake up the hopeful elect and elect.
Yep.
Okay, don't be ashamed and keep moving forward.
Yep.
Okay, and with that being said, we hope you found this lesson edifying, Lord willing, to those who have the eyes to see and the ears to hear.
I'm going to say, Call Allah, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
Want to give double honors to our elders and apostles like Great Millstone. Want to give a sincere shalom to all you Akim spread across the four corners of the earth, and you Israelite foreigners pushing this word in full truth and sincerity. We want to give peace and salutations onto the hopeful elect 144,000. Shalom.
Hey, Shalom.